Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
It can be challenging. Hey, good afternoon, Facebook family, and welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guidance servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Brian+Post. I have a guest member in the studio audience today. Say, you gotta do some clapping. Yay. All right. I hope everyone is doing fantastic and having an amazing, terrific. Kirk and I decided that today was Wednesday. I'm a day behind this week. So I hope you're having a wonderful, whimsical Wednesday. And today, in this episode, we were going to talk about questions from a nanny. Yesterday, I believe it was, I did a 2-hour presentation, virtual presentation for the Del Norte Early Childhood Development Council, and I had a question that came in shortly after, and so I wanted to share it with you all because I thought it could probably be helpful for everyone. So I'm going to read the question. I'm not going to tell you about the part of Angela telling me how amazing the seminar was or anything like that and how much she really enjoyed it. We'll skip right over that part and get right down to the nitty-gritty. So she says, I was curious how you would suggest trying to initially get a child to become regulated with breathing and calming techniques that have previously refused to. So the child refuses to use the breathing and calming techniques. She says, along with working, I'm also a part-time nanny for 3-year-old twin boys. And when they start to get upset about something, I usually try to lightly take their hands, get down at their level, and ask them to breathe with me so we can settle down and talk about what is bothering them. But usually that gets them more upset because they don't want to do deep breaths. The other thing about the situation is that the mom has always worked from home, so when they say no about the smallest thing or ask them to do something, 9 times out of 10 they will start screaming and run to mom's office to tell on me. Even though mom is always with me and tells them to listen to me, she almost always gives them positive reinforcement, hugs, kisses, etc. for the behavior also, so I have a hard time trying to relieve their stress and diminish the bad behavior. Very good point there. I just didn't know if you might have some pointers on how I can start leading them to try and calm themselves with breathing techniques instead of needing to run to their mom, which stresses her out because she's trying to work, obviously. And I'm sure that affects the whole family later because everyone's window of tolerance is smaller. Any advice I'm sure would be helpful. Okay, so let's get right into this. First of all, we're talking about 3-year-olds. So a 3-year-old, sorry about that, guys. Actually, that wasn't an interruption with the Wi-Fi. I'm actually multitasking, trying to do 5 different things. That's why I was late to begin with. And one of my web programmers is in Nigeria, and so anytime he is trying to sign on, then I get all these different security messages, which we all know are very good. So I'm not fussing. Hello, Sephora, and hello, Patrick. Patrick says, "Hi, Big Papa. Hey, is my studio on its leaving? Not very exciting. Kind of boring.
I can go see if he's here."
Oh, okay, buddy. He's gonna be here at 5. You probably hear him pull up. Anyway, back to the question here. The 3-year-old. So with the 2 3-year-olds, the first thing we have to realize, lost my guest audience member. He just departed. I guess, Big Papa's just not that exciting to a 10-year-old. I need to work on my 10-year-old law of attraction skills, I guess. Maybe be more exciting. Put on some masks. Do something like that. Hello there, Mimi. I see you. Oh, I need to give you a call back, Mimi. I apologize. Very, 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 very busy today. And I will call you back just as soon as we are done here. Okay, back to the 3-year-olds, the twins. First of all, my friend, the nanny. At 3 years old, the children are just coming into their developmental peak of their hippocampus, so they're just reaching that point where they can start to begin to have higher level functioning of their thinking, and their short-term memory activates a little bit more regularly. So regularly, it's a little bit more active, because at 18 months the amygdala comes online. So one of the challenges one of the first things that I sense here is, you ask me, how do you get them to calm down by using breathing techniques, which is really awesome that you want to teach them breathing techniques. I think it's amazing that parents want to teach breathing techniques. But here's one of the first things I would ask you to do. Instead of trying to teach them breathing techniques, just start modeling. When they're getting upset, now there's starting to be this conditioned pattern, and this happens in almost all behavior challenges that I encounter, and that's why I feel like this is such a fantastic question. Inevitably, when a child starts to get upset, an adult tries to soothe them, and the adult is not able to soothe them, then an anxiety pattern starts to get generated. When the children get upset, they're signaling the adult's amygdala. Your responsibility as a very good, caring, loving nanny, and probably predictable and secure, is to go and soothe them. But what's happening is, when they get upset, you're getting anxious, because now you have the pattern that they go to mom, and that makes you more anxious, not because mom gets upset, because you really want to do your job effectively, and you're feeling really helpless to be able to do it and keep them from interrupting mom. So here's what I'm going to suggest that you do. Number one, when they start to get upset, I'm going to ask you to breathe. You start breathing, calm your own anxiety response, slow down, maybe don't move so fast, slow down, and realize that the mother in this home is really, really grateful for you, because you spend a lot of time with these two boys. Second, realize that she's still their mother whether she works or not. And though it's not ideal for her to get interrupted, she wants to make sure that their needs are met, and she wants to make sure that they are taken care of. Until she proves otherwise by telling you, being really mean and ugly and nasty, and saying, don't bring those kids in here, don't let those kids come in here and mess with me, then I really wouldn't worry about that anxiety point. But I would really focus on, number one, is calming yourself down, calming your anxiety down, slow down. And the reason I tell you the other things is because it can lessen your anxiety when you stop feeling like you have to prevent them to going into their mom. In fact, it also lessens their anxiety. When you can work on your own regulation. See, creating regulation for a child through an adult influence is not about teaching them deep breathing. See, a lot of times this is where we mess up. We want to teach someone deep breathing instead of practicing it ourselves. So always start with yourself. Slow down. Maybe move away when one of them gets upset, because that gives them a little bit more room to navigate the situation. Okay, move away and become an influence in the opposite direction. Right? And so the other thing you said is that they will oftentimes go to mom and she supports you. Of course, at 3, they're not even thinking, Angela. The part of their brain that helps them begin to think is just now coming online. So it is still way underdeveloped as far as really being able to make sense. They are still highly driven by impulse and the seeking of pleasure. So they get upset, that's the impulse, they get stressed, they get scared, they immediately go to mom because mom is the source of soothing. You don't want to be the person that is trying to interrupt the soothing. And you think that mom giving them the hugs and the kisses is like a positive reinforcement to the behavior, but it's actually not. That's a very old myth when it comes to parenting, that the way I'm seeing a lot of activity out there, the way we meet our children's needs is positive reinforcement. But actually, by mom giving them that hug, giving them that kiss, that's actually creating the security that is allowing them to go back and connect with you later. So she's actually working very effectively. The other thing I would actually add to that is I would really encourage you, Who are these people coming over here? What I would really encourage you to do is give them more hugs and give them more kisses. Pick them up and hold them more. As long as mom's not too threatened by that. She needs that regulatory presence from you. So the more you can connect with those children and turn on their oxytocin response, the more you're going to lower their anxiety and help them be effective. So I think that that's probably in a nutshell. I really want to encourage you, as I do with all parents, lead with your own sense of regulation. Before I encounter any parent, when I'm on a coaching call, especially when I'm working with kids, one of the first things I do, just like yesterday, I took 2 boys to the beach, and I probably spoke all of 20 words. I was very quiet, and I just did lots of breathing. And these are active young men, active kids. Just did lots of breathing. I did lots of listening. I did lots of smiling. Every now and then I'd give a rub on the head or pat on the back or pull one into me, and then they'd run and go play some more and just tell me stories, and I'd just listen and shake my head and say, yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, no, probably not going to do that. Okay, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, no, probably not. Yeah, and that's like the extent of my vocabulary. And a lot of times as parents, we spend way too much time talking to our children and trying to explain and justify and rationalize. So use less words with these 3-year-olds. And I'm going to encourage all you parents, use less words with your children and focus on your own breathing, your own regulation, because automatically that helps create regulation for the stressed out amygdala. Your ability to calm and breathe yourself helps create regulation for your child or for your children. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to go out here and see who this imposter is in the yard. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Remember, in any given situation, you always have 2 choices. You can continue to react from your same blueprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm, or you can stop, slow down, take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and choose love. And I hope you'll choose love. God bless you. Big Papa loves you. We'll see you tomorrow.